Hi guys, welcome to my next knitting podcast. My name is Claudia and welcome here on Knitted Journey, the place where I like to talk all about my knitting and my projects. And welcome to a new episode. I always forget to look up the number of the episode I am. I have no idea, but it's been 2 weeks since I filmed my last episode, so it's a little bit quicker than I usually do. But it's going to be a hectic period for me in the upcoming weeks. I've hinted at that before. Also, I decided against doing Vlogmas just because it's going to be hectic and I felt so much pressure that I put on myself that I decided against that. So instead of that, I am trying maybe a different kind of video, just extra. But I'm keeping it at my regular podcast. So no more chatting, just going straight into my projects. And firstly, I want to show this cardigan. Maybe I said last time that this would be my next finished object. It is 90 to 95% finished. And that is this really rainbowy, colorful, but neutral cardigan. So this is cardigan number 8. It's hard to show because it's so big and floppy. But this is cardigan number 8 by my favorite things, knitwear. At the moment I'm working on a couple of projects from that design. Is that true? Yes, or I'm planning to. But anyways, this is a drop shoulder cardigan with a v-neck, which you can't see probably right now. I've talked about this project maybe now for the last 2, maybe 3 episodes. And I will have to feature her in my next one. But yeah, here it is. The body is completely finished, the sleeves are finished, the button band I have finished. It just needs buttons and I'm deciding whether or not I want pockets on them because the pattern has pockets. And I'm working on them. I'm knitting them so I can lay them flat or just sew them down or pin them with stitch markers and see how it looks. But yeah, for now, this is the fabric and I've shown you it multiple times before, but the base is Filcolana Peruvian Highland wool in the color marzipan, which is lovely neutral base, and I'm holding it together, or I held it together, grammar, with Rico design Make It Sweet. So that makes these colorful rainbowy specks, and as you can see, the thin thread makes for a little bit extra color as well. So the Make It Sweet doesn't add extra thickness to your yarn, so it's still a DK weight sweater or cardigan, but it adds so much personality and fun. And yeah, I've talked about this so many times now and why I chose this yarn, but the long story short, this is the cheaper version of Nora Madara, which I originally wanted to use, but I wasn't sure of because it's so expensive and something with expectation management. So I decided on this and I really love it. It's just so colorful. It's really me. But yeah, I still need... Wait, let's first look at it, how it looks on, because I feel like I can't show it really good right now. So you can see that right now. It is a really oversized casual, or really oversized. It is an oversized casual cardigan. And I really like how it looks hanging loose. So I don't feel the need to button it up all the time. I really like that. And I like the detail on the shoulder with the increases, which creates this thicker band, that detail over here. I really like that. I really love a double knitted button band. This is the second one that I've made. I also made it on the champagne cardigan and I just love it. I love doing it, to be honest. Well, halfway through I'm kind of bored with it, but I love the look of it and I even like doing the buttonholes. I don't care. it's just so sturdy and it looks so clean and beautifully finished. I just, yeah. The field day cardigan, the cardigan that I previously made, or the one before this one, had a ribbed bottom band, and I really like this so much more double knit. For me, it's totally worth the effort. And I managed to make the bottom band on this cardigan in like a day, basically. I started at an evening, Saturday evening, I think, and Sunday around dinner time it was finished. Did it hurt my wrist and my hand? Yes, it did. I regretted it a little bit because I was worried that I would have to like stop knitting for a couple of days after that. So it took it a little bit slower, worked on looser knit projects for a couple of days, and now it's fine. But it wasn't a sensible choice to do. But yeah, I wanted this to be finished. Also, I blocked it already and everything. And when it was blocked, I don't have footage of that, but the ends at the bottom of the body that flared out a little bit. It was straight, it was blocked straight, but when I was wearing it, especially when I looked from the side, like how it fell on my back, it just felt like it flared a little bit out, and I really didn't like how that looked. So what I did, because I felt like I had two options, block it again, or block the ribbing at the bottom again, or, and that's what I did, here at the bottom of the ribbing, I put in an elastic. So I tied it up somewhere here in this double knitted band, and then I sewed in the thread, the elastic, you can't even see it, all the way through to the other side, and I made sure it was completely without any tension, so it wouldn't have any effect. And then I pulled it in for like a couple of centimeters, maybe like an inch and a half, 2 inches, and then it was already too tight, so I made sure it was the tension was even. And on one side now it's, oh, that's a sleeve, cardigan mess. It curls inwards now a little bit. So here it is too tight, but I have to cut the elastic loose and do it again. But when I'm wearing it, I really like how it looks. It falls a little bit like inwards, and it makes it much more cleaner than when it flared out, especially at the back. And at the sides it bunches up a little bit, but I think it will loosen over time. So that is something that I did to fix that issue that I probably made myself. And yeah, so this is one pocket, just a simple square, almost square knit in stockinette stitch and a 1x1 rib at the top. And this ribbing is made with a smaller needle. By the way, the whole cardigan I knit in 5mm needles, even the ribbing, that's what the pattern suggested. I went down a needle size from 5.5 to 5. So this pocket is in 5, and I believe this ribbing is in 3.5. But hopefully that will make sure that when it's sewed on, and especially when I'm wearing the cardigan loose, that it doesn't open, like stand open all that much. I'm really curious to see how that will look. And even if I don't use the pockets in the end, this will be my swatch that I made after the cardigan, because usually I don't swatch, or I swatch but just a little bit and then I rip it out again, because I feel that's a little bit wasteful for yarn, but I always have so much yarn left. And this is like how it looks now. I'm working on the second pocket. This is how much I have left of my second skein of Rico Make It Tweed. But according to the pattern calculations, I bought 3 of these skeins. And maybe I don't even need the third one, and I can make a pocket with just this one. I think it's because I made my cardigan shorter than the pattern suggests. And I also have around like this much left of one skein, and I have 2 new skeins left. So I think I need some meters of this one. So I have enough yarn left. I think I bought 12 or 13 skeins of the Peruvian. So I think there are now 10 or 11 skeins used, which isn't a lot, to be honest. I don't think that's a lot. Whoa, tangly messy over here. But yeah, I really need... Oh, I saved all the labels so I can count how much I used. Let's do that real quick. Yes, I think I used 10 skeins. That's really not a lot. Quite an economical project then, and good to know for the future. So I really need to make a note of that somewhere, because I always have yarn left, and it's such a waste. Although this is a neutral color, so I can see myself making another sweater with it, but also not really, because I have so many other plans. So yeah, it just needs to go to a store to buy some buttons, because I really don't feel like ordering buttons online and pay like the shipping is more than the cost of the buttons themselves, and I don't want to buy extra yarn to prevent shipping costs. I do that all the time, but I'm not allowing myself that. So I need to go to a store, but it's not really close to me. Like, it will take me more time than I want. But yeah, hopefully next time. I want to make sure next time that this is finished, and I'll probably film my next episode in a week or a week and a half, because I really want to upload it or have it edited and ready to upload before I'm leaving for Spain, which is before Christmas. So yeah, need to make sure that I do that. But I also want to wear this and maybe take it with me to Spain. I have worn this already, by the way. So the sleeves were like massive as per usual after blocking, and then I worn it 2 days in a row, and they're perfect now. So yeah, I've already worn it without pockets and without buttons, because I just can, and I love it. So that's project number 1, to be seen next time, and then it will definitely be finished object. I have some quick little finished objects, and one of them is this super cute little December bow. Last time I showed you a pink one that I made in a DK weight yarn, Drops Daisy, and that is bigger. I forgot to grab it so we could compare, but don't mind. But this one I made in Drops North, which is a fingering weight yarn, and I use needle size 2.5 because I am quite a loose knitter, so I go down needle size a lot. And I have a hook on it because this is hanging in the top of my Christmas tree at the moment. So I'll put in a picture of it. I have a really small Christmas tree this year, and this is my new fun accessory for my tree. I will take this with me like forever. This is perfect. The December bow is a pattern by Petiteknit, if you don't know it. It's basically knitted the same as the Sophie scarf, if you know that, but it's a garter stitch long scarf thingy, and it has a different increase or decrease rate here at the bottom, and then you knit it just straight, and then there's instructions, and there's a video of how to sew it all together to a bow, and you have this double knitted band, and I made that on needle size 2, I believe. So yeah, I think my sewing together could have been a little bit better, but that's the fun thing, or the good thing about putting it on as decoration in a Christmas tree, because then you don't touch it, nobody touches it, so then it sits perfect, and I really love how it looks. I already put it on Instagram, and by the way, how I attach it to the tree is just, I have this little hook on which I usually use for ornaments, and I just stuck it in there because I don't think it will mess that up all that much, and I just hang it somewhere between the not branches, the thingies. I have a fake Christmas tree, so it's totally okay. And maybe I want to wear this in my hair for the Christmas celebrations at the school that I work. So do a low, half up, half down. Maybe I will do that. I'm not sure yet. I wanted to knit this especially for that, but now it's hanging in the tree and I just in love. So probably will make more of these in the future. If I have a bigger tree someday in the future, I would love to have more smaller one than this, smaller ones than this one, and have it all over the tree maybe, just for some years. But for me, that means altering the pattern and casting on less stitches or increasing less, because this is already on 2.5 and fingering weight, and it isn't really all that small. So yeah, that's a finished object. Next finished object is something really different from me, but I really like this, and those are mug rugs. I made a mug rug for my friend Jasmijn because we, with my offline knitting friends, we're doing like an advent swap. So for some days before Christmas and with Christmas itself, we all made or collected cute little gifts to give to each other. And as my one handmade gift, I made a mug rug. And this is totally inspired by Emily from High Fiber Knits. So it's a garter triangle, square, obviously, garter square, and then the tassels. So I didn't follow a pattern, I just played around a little bit. I believe I casted on 23 stitches. And then how many rows is this? I don't know. So it's more of a rectangle, to be honest. And with a crochet hook, I attached the tassels. The yarn is a combination of two. It is Drops Flora in like a beige color. This is a scrap yarn that I had. And the other one, you can't see it very well, but it's a hand-dyed sock yarn by a Dutch hand dyer, MYPZ. And it has white and pink and a little bit rusty orangey color, purple. And together, like this is purely the hand-dyed yarn. And for the square, I used the Drops Flora as well. So I made one for Jasmijn, and I thought it was so much fun that I wanted to make one for myself for my new place, because I'm moving soon. And then I wanted to make one as a gift as well. So I have two over here, but actually I made three, but one is already given away. I did make one with not like edge stitches, and the other one I made with a nice, that you slip the first stitch and you purl the last stitch on every row. So I'm need to decide which one to keep for myself and which one to give away. I still need to block them, and especially for the tassels, that they're nice and straight, and maybe I need to trim them a little bit because it's done by hand on a dark evening watching some series or movie. So yeah, so one will be a gift, one for myself, and then for myself I really want to make one more or maybe three more. That I have 4, so I can have my tea at home with a cute mug rug underneath this. And I even want to make a bigger one for my teapot, because if you don't know, I always drink from a pot because I drink so much tea. And I have collected some scrap yarn in this little bag for the other colors as well. Here's the red yarn for the bow. But I also have this yarn left from my Monday sweater. And by the way, I weighed This is hand-dyed yarn I have left from my Monday sweater. One of these mug rugs is 13 grams in total. So this is 13.5 or 14 grams. So I can make one mug rug. Maybe I make it a little bit like one stage smaller or one row smaller. I also have this one left, Wol met verven sock yarn I used for Tolsta tea. This is, by the way, Apnesca yarn. And I really like the idea of what Emily from High Fiber Knit said, that with the scrap yarns from something special, you can put it in a blanket or something. But how fun is it to make a project with it for something that you're using every day, or you can see all the time. So I really like that idea. The tassels need to be a little bit shorter, I feel. But yeah, another finished object, really quick to do and quite addicting, I must say. But now I've done 3. It's probably like a second sock syndrome. I'm not doing them anytime soon, but who knows. And then I have 3 whips. So the first whip I've shown you multiple times before, or 2 times before, I believe. And it's the Elisabeth blouse. And I'm finally at the moment that I can try it on. So before I jump in and tell you all about it, let's just look at how it is on right now. Because I have maybe done 2 inches below the armhole, joined in around, so it is below my chest area, and I can really see how it fits, how it looks. And yeah, I really love this color, and it's going to be oversized like I wanted this. This is a raglan blouse by Petiteknit with a collar, obviously. You knit that collar where you start with Judy's Magic Cast On, and then you knit both sides, so it's a double knit fabric basically. The V-neck is has edges of double knitting, and I did that already last time, I believe. The yoke is with raglan increases, and now I'm working on the body. I'm making this on needle size 3 instead of 4. I had to size down quite a lot, or go down needle size a lot, but it's really finely knit, so I'm at a point where it's a little bit tedious to work on it, and I really need to use progress markers to keep me motivated. But I also know when I reach this stage, I don't really like working on it, but it's over before I know it, because I have a really short torso. This blouse is intended to have 6 centimeters of positive ease. I sized up, so I'm making a size extra large for extra positive ease, but also my gauge I think is still a half a stitch or a stitch too big, so it is turning out quite big, but that's what I really want, because that collar, the first time that I tried it on this week, I was like, I don't know if it really feels like me, this color. I don't have clothing with this type of color. I have some blouses, and that's from the last couple of years. Before that I didn't wear that. It's quite preppy clothing style. It looks beautiful on other people, but I'm not sure how much Claudia it is. So hence that I'm making it oversized. So I'm really curious to see how it looks when the body is more finished, and I really see how much ease I have when it's blocked, basically when it's finished. And then I can decide if it's me or not. But yeah, I really like how I am progressing, or how the progress is so far. It's finally looking like a sweater. The yarn, by the way, I need to mention the yarn. That is Filcolana Filcolana Pernilla, which is a sport weight yarn. Here it is, a new skein. It's 50 grams, is 175 meters, 100% Peruvian wool. I really enjoyed Filcolana Peruvian. This a little less because this is a little bit harder to get even for me. The color is 346, by the way, so it's a lovely foresty green color. And I've talked about this before, but this is like the back panel, and you can see, even when it's like it's crinkly, but the tension is really difficult to get even, and I really hope this blocks out. Maybe it's, and I'm having to knit tighter to prevent that, hopefully prevent that, and it still works not all the time, and I'm working tighter than I used to do, so I'm feeling it in my hands sometimes, that all projects I'm working on at the moment, I try to knit tighter, but I think I'm knitting so loose normally because I really want to knit in a relaxed way, because I had quite an injury in my shoulder like 6 months ago. I think it was a knitting injury, and I felt it here in my shoulder, and I had tingly feeling in my hands, and I think it was knitting related. So I'm trying to knit really relaxed, keep my arms, my wrists, my fingers really relaxed, hands really loose knitter, and now I'm knitting tight, so I have to keep an eye on that. So yeah, I'm going to take this with me the next couple of days to work, because we have a lot of meetings, like I'm a teacher, and in 2 weeks we have like parent teacher student meetings, like little talks, and now we have a lot of meetings about all the classes and every student, about their welfare and their grades, and to make sure that I am focused and I keep my head at what I need to, like in the conversation, I knit a lot. And I think you can all recognize that the knitting makes you focus more on other things, like stockinette stitch knitting, something really mindless. Then it's easier to keep my focus and don't drift off. And if I'm still working on something else, then I miss part of the conversation, or they are asking something of me, like what help they will need with like their Latin, and I need to answer that, and then I don't know what they said. So I'm knitting a lot. So I hopefully next 2-3 days I can get a whole lot of progress on the body done, or maybe I can start one sleeve already, and to battle the mindless knitting that sometimes it's a little bit boring. That was cup number 1. And then I have 2 other whips. Well, one is a really small one. I just started. So the next one is a new one. And this is the yarn that I bought in, one of the yarns that I bought in Copenhagen. It's Sandnes Garn Double Sunday in 1971. I have no idea what the color is called, but it's probably dusty green, gray green, I don't know. But I love this color. Double Sunday is 100% merino wool, so it's really soft. It's a DK weight, will probably peel, but hopefully it's totally worth it. This is also, by the way, I haven't mentioned that. Normally I do that, but you've seen this in my previous podcast. This is the Lyon sweater by Petiteknit in Drops Daisy, which is 100% non-superwash merino. It is softer than the Double Sunday. The Double Sunday has a little bit more grip to it, which I like more. And I've already worn this sweater a couple of times, not a whole lot. And just an update for who's curious, I have some pilling over here and the sleeves, which I expect to have pilling over here on the inside of the sleeves. It's not too bad, it's not too bad. I'll keep you updated when I'm wearing it again, or at the end of the winter when I do a collective video about it. My project dropped. I bought this yarn for the storm sweater, so I finally started. Though I want to finish other projects first. And I really wanted to make the storm sweater ever since it came out. It is a pattern by Petiteknit. As you know, I'm a big Petiteknit fan, and I'm not going to stop knitting Petiteknit projects just because I make these podcasts. Sometimes I want to diversify a little bit, but at the moment not. So this is the back panel, and I already did the left shoulder and I'm working on the right shoulder. This is going so fast. And I think because you're working in different, let's pretend this is the front so you can see it. Because you're working in different panels, it's really addicting, and it's really, the patterns are really easy. I already made the Ingrid sweater, and that has like the crosses, the faux cable sections, which are a little bit more work and a little bit harder, especially to get it neat. And this is just knits and purls. So if you're quite new to knitting, this is totally doable. I would say a stockinette stitch sweater as your first sweater, I would say that's better to begin with, so you can focus on your increases and decreases or the construction of the sweater. But I really like this. Look at the color. I think it's beautiful. It's neutral, but it's a color, and you can wear this color all year round. So this section on the top is basically all knits, but with dots of pearls. Then you have each section separated with 2 purl rows and 1 knit row in between. And then you have broken rib, and then you have a cross section, like a diamond section, but it's done with pearls. Then this diagonal section, and a little bit of shaping here at the bottom, just a little bit. And then at the front panel, you have these spots, the broken rib, and also some shaping here at the neckline. So it will sit here. So it's a drop shoulder, as you can see. And I'm really excited about this. I think I've worked 3 times on this. Not a whole lot of time, to be honest. But it's going by really quick. I'm knitting this on needle size 3.5 instead of 4. And I think it looks beautiful. And I think I have gauge. I checked multiple times, but I believe I have gauge, which is rare. So I'm really excited. I'm knitting a size 4, which is a medium right now. Yes, the funny thing about this pattern, and I only saw that when I started working this and looked at the pattern and wanted to decide the size that I use. And normally with Petiteknit I'm a large, because my bust circumference is about 100 centimeters. So I'm normally between a large and an extra large, so I choose large. But in this pattern, the chest measurement for medium and large is the same. I think it's 125 centimeters on the top of my head. It's just the length of the garment is like a centimeter off. Now I'm short, so I chose the smaller size, the medium. But I think it's really weird if you're expanding or you're making sure you have a big size range. I believe there are now 9 sizes, probably from extra small to, I don't know, 3 or 5 XL. I haven't looked it up before this video, I'm sorry. But then 2 sizes have the same measurements except for the length, which doesn't feel like you're expanding your size range, in my opinion. But okay, fine. I'm making a medium. I'm just hoping that it will look good on me, but probably will. It will probably be nice and big and oversized, just like everything I'm making. and I'm really excited. I can't show you anything more about this, but next time, if I'm filming this in a week or a week and a half, I think I will have joined in round and I can try it on. I think this is going by so fast that I can manage to do that. So yeah, that's the storm sweater, the beginning of. And also I'm leaving for Spain in less than 2 weeks. I hope I kind of have set a deadline that I hope to have the Elisabeth blouse finished, just because that's taken me quite some time now. I don't think I can bring it with me because I can't have it finished in a week and also then blocked. I don't think that's doable because I have other fun projects to work on. And in Spain, I want to have one sweater project with me, so I will cast on a new sweater over there and one sock project for on the go and in the plane. So this storm sweater and what else I'm working on will have to wait for a week and a half until I return. That's why I want to have something finished before that. But also I want to slow down with my knitting sometimes a bit more. And I've already got some comments about that I knit really fast. I don't feel like I'm a fast knitter. I just knit a lot of hours. But that means that I go through projects quite quick. And I'm already at the point with in my wardrobe, when I look at all my finished sweaters and cardigans and slipovers, that I feel not overwhelmed, but I can wear something handmade every day if I want to. So that's that says something about how many sweaters I have finished, and I'm only knitting for 2.5 years now. And I really started knitting sweaters. Yeah, well, the first one I knit 2 years ago, but like last winter I knitted a couple of sweaters, and now it's going by so fast, and I have so many sweaters that I feel like I have too many outfit options in my wardrobe. I haven't bought anything for the winter yet, and because I'm moving, I don't want to buy any more clothing, and I'm making so much. I'm realizing that I probably, at this rate, will come to the realization next year that I have too many sweaters for myself. So that's why I have started my next project. Hey, nice transition. And it's with my knitting for olive merino in the color Bordeaux. And this is what I have. So it's really not a lot. And this will be Camisole number 9 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. So that is a fingering weight project, a really simple tank top, high neck, with really neat finishings and sleeveless. And you need to have like 12 to 15 centimeters of negative ease, so it's tight fitting. And I really want to have this as a layering piece. I think this color would look wonderful, like wonderful, underneath this cardigan. Yeah. Or other clothes, but I have so much, I said. So yeah, I feel like it's between a purplish color and a Bordeaux. I think it's more purple than Bordeaux, in my opinion, but I love this color. A really deep wintry color. So I have one strap finished. It is a different construction. So you start with both the straps at the front. So this is the left strap, I believe. I think this will sit over here. Then you do the right one, then you join them together, and then you start at the back. Normally you start at the back and you attach the front either. But hey, something new is always exciting. And I really had trouble deciding the needle size for this one, because this is a fingering weight project. It's meant, or the pattern is written in 3mm, and I knew that 3mm for me wouldn't work. So I swatched and I swatched and I swatched, and I felt like I need to go down to needle size 2mm, but then I don't have any smaller needles than 2 mm for all the edging. So instead I'm making this on needle 2.5, but I'm trying to knit really tightly. So this is something, a project that I want to work on in smaller increments of time, just to be mindful about my fingers and my hands and the tension. But it's so beautiful. This will be gorgeous, and I really love how the fabric looks. And especially, I didn't know if this yarn blooms a little bit with plugging, but I hope it will fill it out even a little bit more. So I'm on gauge right now. The gauge is 30 by 32, I believe. So the width-wise, with this tension, I get 30 stitches, but I have to keep mindful of the tension. And the length, I think I'm a bit off, but I'm always off. So I'm knitting a size, the recommended size. I don't know if that's, well, the measurement should be 85 centimeters, so exactly 15 centimeters of negative ease. So if it will turn out a little bit bigger than that because of my gauge, my own tension, I'm not too mad about this, because to be honest, I want this as a layering piece and I don't want to have it stretched on my chest. But yeah, this is just as a office sling. Just to switch around between the projects of the two sweaters and this one. But the Elisabeth blouse is on needle size 3, the Storm sweater is on 3.5, and this is on 2.5. So I'm in the small needles right now, but I don't mind. The 5mm is weirdly big, I think. And the next project that I'm casting on in Spain will be 5mm. It will be the sweater number 18 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. So yeah, I think this is it. I want to show you, by the way, a really cute marker that I got this morning in my advent. Femke from the Mindful Creators made the box for me. And this morning I had some markers. I have some others as well, but look how cute she made them. So Femke, thank you so much for your cute box. I love everything. And everything is pink themed, and she knows me so well. Well, all of you know that pink is my favorite color, but it's so thoughtful if somebody picks that out. So yeah, this is just the only project right now that needs a stitch marker. So I put in through 2 just because I can. But it will be soon that my other projects will need markers as well. So yeah, I talked a lot. I feel like I filmed another video this morning, and I'm going to wrap this up. I hope you enjoyed my knitting projects again and the update, and I will see you hopefully in my next video. Please subscribe. I'm going to say this again, just some shameless self-promotion. Please subscribe if you haven't already, because I really want to have and to reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. And it's December the 10th, I believe, and I have 954 at the moment, I believe. So I'm almost there, but I really want to reach 1,000. That would be amazing. So thank you if you're already subscribed, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a nice day, and bye bye.